Hey, Cicero, can I get you for a second?
Yes, listener? How can Cicero be of service?
Well, I wanted to feature you in one of my videos, so I
Let's
just...
kill someone.
No, no, I just need some interesting facts about you.
Oh, must oil mother soon. Get all the hard-to-reach places.
Right, I just need a moment of your time.
Cicero can talk for a moment. Just a moment. Then mother must be tended to.
Yeah, right, yep. Starting off with number 5, Cicero reached his level of madness very slowly. With a guy as wacky and crazy as this, you'd think he was just born this way. Oh, yeah, it runs in the family. Or maybe when he was a kid, his mom used him as a dummy for practicing spells. But no, in fact, he started out normal. For a ruthless killer. See, if you read his journals, and they can be found in his room at the Falkreath Sanctuary, he talks about how he joined the Brotherhood as, quote, a lowly assassin. And at this point, his writing it's very clear and lucid. He sounds like a regular person. Thing is, this was back in Cyrodiil, 15 years before the events of Skyrim, and the Brotherhood was having major issues at that time. And he had been through it all trying to maintain their presence, but it just wasn't enough. Their sanctuaries were being destroyed, members were killing each other, and eventually those that were left just got up and went their own ways. But not Cicero. He stayed with the Night Mother in one of their last sanctuaries for 8 years, all alone, just him and the Night Mother, constantly wishing, constantly pleading that she might speak to him, make him the listener, anything. But she never did, and the signs, they were already starting to show, but then that long by yourself, underground, devoid of light, unable to escape your own thoughts, it'll drive anyone crazy. Number 4, the personality that he takes on, that wacky jester, is actually based off of someone else. See, when the Brotherhood was still taking on just whatever contracts they could, Cicero had won to kill a jester. He did this very easily, but he didn't realize the effect this man would have on him. In his journal, he mentions how he was with him for several hours, probably stalking, observing, and trying to find out when a good time to strike would be. Now, during this, he couldn't help but hear this man's laughter, distinct laughter, penetrating laughter. And he's just doing his job, being silly, trying to make people laugh, that's all. But apparently, just before Cicero was about to kill him, he was still laughing, that same laugh, as merry as ever. So, okay, been a while after all of this, and Cicero's alone at that sanctuary again with just the Night Mother, and it's that laugh that penetrates his mind. When he's lived so long without the voice of anyone else, that's the only one he can still hear, and he clings onto it. He begins to love it. He sees it as a gift, and soon he embodies it, not just the laugh, but the entire personality. The jester, hopping around, being silly, trying to make people laugh, exaggerating his words. All of this was protection from his own loneliness. Number 3, Cicero killed the grand champion of the arena in the imperial city. Now, most likely this is just a cheeky nod from the developers, not a whole lot more. However, in his journal, Cicero explains that he once had a contract to do just that. So, he posed as a starstruck fan, followed the grand champion around pretending to be a squire, and then when they were alone, slit his throat. Him being a starstruck fan is of course a reference to the adoring fan who would follow you around back in Oblivion if you became the grand champion. Wait, does that mean Cicero eventually killed your character? Well, that's what a few people have proposed. However, given the couple hundred years between Oblivion and Skyrim, that seems very unlikely. What could have happened is that he killed whoever was the grand champion during that time. That's fair. So if this means anything more than, just being a fun little Easter egg, it's that Cicero has been very deadly for a long time. Maybe not a century, but at least a decade. Number 2, Cicero's name is based off of the famous Roman philosopher and orator Cicero. This is a man who's considered to have had the greatest influence on European literature and ideas of style, and there's a lot of similarities between the two. First, our Cicero, he has a very grand way of speaking. Everything is very big and passionate. This sort of mimics the high style of rhetoric, and this is something that Roman Cicero used quite a lot himself. He talks about its eloquence and its great emotional power on an audience. One of Cicero's quotes, "Madness is merry, and merriment's might when the jester comes calling with his knife in the night." That's obviously a much more grand way of saying, I'm outside, I'm going to kill a bunch of people. So the styles of rhetoric are something that he likes to play around with. Another thing is that the Roman Cicero was also a prominent politician. He even prevented a conspiracy that was aimed at overthrowing the Roman government of that time. Now, in a way, that's very similar to what our Cicero did. Back when he was at one of the sanctuaries in Cyrodiil, he had one of the high-ranking members, a Khajiit named Rasha, assassinated because he was claiming that the Night Mother made him the next listener, even though she had not. It was a lie. Betrayal in this group is not something Cicero is going to stand for. So, just as he is an ornate speaker or a dealer in politics, he has this very much in common with the Roman Cicero. And number 1, Fittest Values, Cicero. And, at first you don't think that would really be the case. Here, you've got someone who's very unpredictable and off the handles. You'd think he'd be more of a liability. In a group of assassins that revolves around secrets, it's gotta be the, goofy, talkative jester that spills everything first. But no. He hasn't. His commitment is unwavering, and has been for a long time. Sithis really likes this. You can tell because during the quest to the cure for madness, and you speak to Lucien Lachance, one of the things he'll say is that the Dread Father does not wish for Cicero to be killed. If the reason was just because he wanted the group to avoid struggling with each other, okay, that would be one thing, but they're already doing that, so clearly Cicero has much more value to him than just to avoid them fighting. And Cicero himself actually confirms this because he'll say, "Oh, but this isn't at all what Mother would want. You kill the keeper, or I kill the listener. Now that's madness." So he realizes that Astrid challenging the Night Mother's authority, or the group slowly distancing themselves from the old ways, that's only going to hurt them in the long run. And from what we can tell, it's both the Night Mother and Sithis who agree with that. This makes Cicero highly valuable, again, not just to prevent division, but because of his strong commitment to the cause. And there you have it, 5 facts about Cicero in Skyrim. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and down below please tell me, what do you think of this wacky jester? Alright, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Cicero, for all of your help.
Humble Cicero lives to serve.
Yeah, you can get on with your oiling now.
Oh,